Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the MA English Cafe. Today, we're talking about something that really shifted my perspective, something that can genuinely change how we approach challenges, the growth mindset. Ben, have you ever felt stuck? Like you just weren't good enough at something and then realized your thinking was actually holding you back?
Hello there, friends. Jenny, that feeling of being stuck is incredibly relatable. I've definitely been there. For a long time, I used to think people were just naturally good at certain things, like math or public speaking or even learning a new language. If I struggled, my internal voice would just say, well, you're just not wired for this, and I'd pretty much give up. It was a very fixed way of looking at my own abilities.
Exactly. That's the core of what we call a fixed mindset. It's the belief that your intelligence, your talents, your abilities are essentially set in stone. If you're bad at something, you always will be. And it's incredibly limiting, isn't it? It stops you from even trying or from persisting when things get tough. I remember trying to learn to play the guitar years ago. I struggled with the chords, my fingers hurt, and I thought, I'm just not musically inclined. I literally told myself that and I quit after a month.
Oh, the classic, I'm just not, insert skill here, type excuse. I use that one for drawing. My stick figures looked like they were having an existential crisis. So naturally, I concluded I can't draw. End of story. But in hindsight, it wasn't that I couldn't draw. It was that I never practiced drawing. My fixed mindset prevented me from even attempting to learn or improve. It's funny how your thinking affects your success so directly. If you believe you can't, you probably won't.
It's so true. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's not just about big skills. It can be small, everyday things too, like I'm always late or I'm bad at remembering names. If you tell yourself that constantly, you unconsciously reinforce that behavior. It gives you an excuse not to try harder. The beauty of the growth mindset is this fundamental belief that your abilities, your intelligence, your talents can be developed through dedication and hard work. It's about believing in your ability to improve.
That's the game changer right there. It's shifting from I can't do this to I can't do this yet. That one little word yet is so powerful. It opens up a world of possibilities. It reframes mistakes, not as failures, but as learning opportunities. My perspective on coding completely changed when I embraced this. Initially, I hit a wall and thought, this is too complex for me. But then I started thinking, okay, I don't understand this now, but what steps can I take to figure it out?
Exactly. It shifts the focus from an outcome to the process. It's about effort, strategy, and learning from setbacks. It encourages you to embrace challenges, to persist in the face of obstacles, and to see effort as a path to mastery. This isn't just some feel-good philosophy. There's real science behind how our brains are adaptable and can form new neural pathways. If you're finding this discussion about mindset as fascinating as we do, please like this video. Every like helps us reach more English learners who want to improve their thinking and their English.
So if a fixed mindset says, I'm either good at this or I'm not, a growth mindset says, I can get better at this through practice and learning. It's a fundamental shift, and it applies to everything. Language learning, for sure. Many people start learning English and immediately get discouraged by mistakes or slow progress.
Absolutely. They might say, my English pronunciation is terrible, or I always make common English mistakes. I'll never be fluent. That's a fixed mindset talking. A growth mindset for English learning would be, my English pronunciation isn't perfect yet, but with more English listening practice and English speaking practice, it will improve. It focuses on the process of improvement.
Precisely. It's about viewing challenges as opportunities for growth. So, What are some of the practical ways we can start shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset in our daily lives? Because it sounds great in theory, but changing deep-seated beliefs is hard.
It really is. One key method is to change your internal dialogue. When you catch yourself saying something negative about your abilities, challenge it. Instead of, I'm so stupid for making that mistake, try, okay, that didn't work. What can I learn from this? How can I do it differently next time? It's a conscious effort to reframe your thoughts.
That's really tough to do at first, but essential. Another practical step is to embrace challenges. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks because you fear failure, see them as opportunities to stretch yourself, like trying to use new English vocabulary or English phrases in a real English conversation, even if you're nervous about making errors. That's a perfect example of a growth mindset in action for English practice.
Yes, the fear of looking foolish often holds us back, but a growth mindset encourages you to step out of your comfort zone. Also, focus on the process, not just the outcome. Celebrate the effort, the learning, the persistence, rather than just the final result. If you're studying for an English grammar test, don't just focus on the grade. Focus on how much you understood, how many new rules you grasped, and the time you put into it. That makes the journey rewarding.
That's a huge one, especially for kids, but it applies to adults too. The emphasis on effort over innate talent is crucial. And what about learning from others? A fixed mindset might see someone else's success as a threat, thinking they're just smarter than me. A growth mindset would see it as inspiration, asking, what did they do to achieve that? What can I learn from their strategy?
That's a fantastic point. It shifts from comparison to collaboration and learning. It also encourages seeking constructive feedback, not just praise. A fixed mindset person might get defensive with criticism, but a growth mindset person sees it as valuable information for improvement. And for everyone listening who's interested in mastering these kinds of powerful ideas and boosting your English fluency, make sure to subscribe to the MA English channel. Your subscription helps us bring more insightful discussions to you.
Yes, please subscribe. It really helps us grow. So to recap some of these methods, change your self-talk, embrace challenges, focus on the process and effort, learn from others' success, and welcome feedback. And honestly, consistency is key. It's not a switch you flip. It's a muscle you build.
Absolutely. It's a continuous journey of self-awareness and intentional practice. And it even changes how you perceive setbacks. Instead of, I failed, I'm a failure, it becomes, okay, that didn't work this time. What's my next step? What strategy can I adjust? This is incredibly powerful for ESL and EFL learners. If you have a bad day trying to speak daily English, you don't give up entirely.
Exactly. Instead of letting one difficult English conversation define your entire English language journey, you see it as a single data point for improvement. And this mindset doesn't just apply to academic or professional skills. It applies to relationships, to personal habits, to emotional intelligence. Can you study English better if you believe you can? Undeniably.
Definitely. It's about believing in your ability to improve. This mindset encourages you to explore English courses, seek out more English lessons, and constantly look for English tips to enhance your English skills. It's the driving force behind consistent English practice. It truly underscores how your thinking affects your success.
It really boils down to choice. We can choose to believe our abilities are static, or we can choose to believe they are malleable and can grow with effort. And frankly, the latter is a much more empowering and liberating way to live. Think about any skill you've genuinely improved at, whether it's cooking or driving or speaking English. It didn't happen because you were naturally good. It happened because you put in the effort and believed you could get better.
Exactly. It's a profound shift that moves you from a passive acceptance of your limitations to an active pursuit of growth. So let's all try to catch those fixed mindset thoughts, challenge them, and replace them with growth mindset thinking. The journey might be challenging, but the potential for growth is limitless.
Well said, Jenny. This has been a truly inspiring discussion. Thank you all for joining us today at the MA English Cafe.
Yes, thank you, friends. And we'd love to hear from you. What's one area in your life where adopting a growth mindset has made a big difference? Share your experiences in the comments below.